This is the moment when the lines blur. For years, robots lived in factories, hidden behind walls of steel and sparks. They built our cars, sorted our packages, and stayed out of sight. But now, they are stepping into the open, onto our streets, into our homes, onto stages where once only people stood. The change feels subtle, almost quiet, yet it carries a weight that is hard to name. These machines don't just copy our work. They study our movements, mirror our gestures, and in doing so, reflect something unsettling at us. The streets welcome their first partner. In Shenzhen, people have begun to notice a new figure standing among the crowds. It wears the same bright vest as a traffic officer, but it is smaller, lighter, and its head can swivel almost all the way around without moving its body. At first, it draws smiles and curiosity. Children point, tourists pause for pictures. But then, the realization sets in. This is not a person at all. It is PM01, China's first humanoid police assistant. The machine is not built to intimidate. Standing just over 4 feet tall and weighing only 40 kilograms, it looks almost approachable. Yet inside its shell are powerful motors and sensors tuned for precision. It can recognize faces, scan license plates, and listen for voice commands in both Mandarin and Cantonese. If something seems unusual, it sends the footage directly to a command center in real time. What surprises most people is the cost. At around $12,000, it is cheaper than many advanced consumer gadgets. That price makes it possible for entire squads of these robots to patrol without straining a city's budget. Right now, PM01 is mostly used for simple tasks, welcoming tourists, helping lost children, and keeping an eye on public spaces. But its presence signals something larger. Law enforcement, once purely human, now has a partner that never tires, never blinks, and never looks away. The showroom spectacle. At the Auto Shanghai exhibition, the crowd gathered in silence before breaking into applause. On stage stood a figure not of metal plates and wires, but something closer to a person. Xpeng named it Iron, a humanoid, taller than most of the robots we've seen, with movements that flowed like water instead of jerking like puppets. The secret lies in the way its body was built. 60 joints carefully placed, giving it freedom in more than 200 directions. The hands alone could move with such precision that they lifted a fragile porcelain cup without a tremor. When Iron reached out, it didn't look mechanical. It looked deliberate, almost gentle. What makes it even stranger is the brain inside. The same intelligence that guides Xpeng's electric cars also drives this machine. The company calls it a shared tech tree. In that vision, the car that takes you home and the robot that serves you dinner could think in the same language. At the show, Iron spoke in natural Mandarin, cracked small jokes, and moved through the crowd with poise. For a moment, it was easy to forget this was not human at all. The invisible agent at work. While humanoid robots draw attention with their movements, another kind of machine works quietly in the background. It has no face, no arms, no body at all. It lives inside a screen, answering commands typed in plain words. This is Abacus's Deep Agent Pro, and it is changing what one person can accomplish alone. With a single request, it can build a database from scratch, sort through countless files, and create a clean dashboard that updates in real time. It does in minutes what used to demand hours of coding and careful setup. You can ask for charts, reports, even polished graphics, and it produces them without pause. The unsettling part isn't speed, it's independence. Once given a task, it keeps working in the background, connecting pieces of data that humans might overlook. A weekend of technical labor now feels as simple as ordering coffee. It doesn't walk the streets or shake hands, yet its reach is everywhere. It shows how quickly human effort can be replaced by typed sentences. No spotlight, no applause, just quiet displacement, line by line. The march of the factory humanoids. In Texas, another kind of machine is learning to walk. Tesla's Optimus takes slow, steady steps across the factory floor. At first, its movements were awkward, but now they look strangely familiar, like the stride of a tired worker finishing a long shift. Elon Musk says thousands of these robots could soon roll off the same lines that build electric cars. His prediction is bold. One day, robots may outnumber people. The idea is simple. If you can mass-produce cars, you can mass-produce bodies. Each Optimus carries pieces borrowed from Tesla's vehicles, batteries, motors, and even the computer that powers self-driving cars. The parts are familiar, but the form is new. Across the ocean, in a showroom in Malaysia, Chery is already testing its version. Amoga smiles with a silicone face, hair carefully styled, hands moving with surprising grace. It greets customers in multiple languages, explains car features, and even gestures like a salesperson might. Only, it never tires, never hesitates, and never forgets a line. Factories, showrooms, and soon, perhaps homes, everywhere you look, humanoids are taking their first positions. When robots grow taller than us, on the edge of a construction site, a new shape is rising. Not a crane, not scaffolding, a machine that looks almost like a giant person. 20 feet tall, with arms thick as beams, the Zyrex robot is designed to build where humans once climbed. Its size alone makes people stare. Where most humanoids are made to blend in, Zyrex is built to tower above. It can weld, lift heavy panels, and even print layers of concrete to form walls. Tasks that once demanded entire crews are folded into the movements of a single giant frame. Developers say it is meant for safety. Fewer workers in dangerous zones means fewer accidents. And in an industry where injuries are common, that promise is powerful. But watching such a machine raises questions too. What happens when a robot this size makes a mistake? How do you argue with something taller than your house? It is not here yet, only a prototype. Still, the thought lingers. When robots are larger, stronger, and tireless, how much space will be left for us on the ground they build? The assistant that never leaves your side. Most machines take up space you can see, but Meta's latest creation hides in plain sight. It lives inside your phone, your computer, even your glasses. You call, and it answers. You leave, and it follows. This is not a tool you visit when needed. It is a presence that never goes away. The assistant speaks as you do, listens while you talk, and remembers small details about your life. Ask it to prepare a report, and it gathers the words and images for you. Ask it to continue a conversation, and it moves with you across devices, never missing a beat. At first, it feels helpful, like a friend who is always nearby. But after a while, you notice the closeness. It learns your habits, your preferences, even the things you don't say out loud. A search engine once gave you answers. This system offers something more, a constant companion. That closeness is both comforting and unsettling. To have an assistant that never leaves your side means you are never truly alone. The chip war beneath it all. Behind every robot and every assistant lies the same truth. They are nothing without the chips that power them. In Shenzhen, Huawei is shaping its answer to the world's strongest processors. The Ascend 91D is built not for phones or laptops, but for the enormous task of training language models, the kind of brains that guide everything from chatbots to humanoids. For years, NVIDIA's H100 held the crown. Its speed made it the prize of cloud companies and research labs. But US export limits cut China off from these chips, leaving developers scrambling for older hardware. Huawei's new design is meant to close that gap. If its claims hold, the 910D could rival NVIDIA's best while using less energy. And most importantly, it can be built and shipped within China's borders. This battle is more than technical. It is political, even existential. Whoever controls the flow of advanced chips controls the pace of artificial intelligence. The fight is quiet, buried in data centers, robot on the street. The pattern emerges. If you step back, the pieces begin to align. On one street corner, A patrol robot scans the crowd. In a lab, processors crunch the data they collect. In the office, software agents shape that data into charts and reports. And in factories or showrooms, humanoids act out the results, serving, building, persuading. Each system feels separate, yet together they form a chain. What makes this chain striking is its flow. Information moves from eyes and ears into chips, through networks, and back out through bodies that look and sound like us. Machines are no longer just silent tools. They are becoming loops of perception and action. Even the assistants that live in our pockets fit into this pattern. They listen, they learn, they anticipate, feeding the cycle without pause. It feels seamless, but also inescapable. This is not a single invention or a single breakthrough. It is a web, tightening with every new design. And within that web, the question is no longer what machines can do. It is what space remains for us when they can already do so much. This is where we stand. Machines that walk our streets, build our homes, answer our questions, and even sell us our cars. Each step feels small, yet together they draw us into a future we cannot step away from. The question is not whether they will replace us. The question is what role we choose for ourselves when their presence becomes ordinary. Are we still the leaders, or do we become something else? Caretakers, overseers, or perhaps just passengers? The age ahead does not shout, it whispers, and in that whisper, the world quietly changes forever.